shaking hands with a guy in a suit.
Have you ever
a briefcase?
Have you ever walked in the woods?
Yeah.
It's a giant, scary place.
Yeah, I know.
No, I mean like really walk in the woods. I mean like
I was lost in the woods.
No, you.
I was lost in the woods, and there were bears.
You did drive-by hiking. I'm talking going to like the Pacific Northwest and walk into a rainforest.
Dude, I was lost in the mountains.
It was a little hiking trail.
Hiking trail gone wrong. It was 24 hours in freezing cold rain, lost in the woods with no food, no fire.
But the whole time you were like a mile away from a road.
I thought I could die.
You were a mile away from a road the whole time.
Who knows where the road was? I didn't see any road.
Well, that's not going deep into the woods.
It took us days to walk out, one day. But it seemed like days. and a black bear crossed our trail.
Yeah.
I had to sleep in a lean-to. A lean-to!
Yeah, that is pretty crazy for you.
Sleeping in a lean-to? Trying to make fire with rocks and a stick in the rain like an idiot? No clue how to do it. Could have been there forever.
Wait, did you really try to make a fire?
Wouldn't you?
This is one of these stories that comes up from time to time. Anthony was lost in the woods for about 24 hours.
Me and my girlfriend went hiking.
Yeah.
And we got up the hill, this hill in the woods, decided to have lunch, turn around, and come back. And she goes, oh, I remember when I was a kid, we used to come up here, and we went down that way. I go, no, but we came up that way. Yeah, but we go down this way. I'm like, I'll give it a try. And within a half an hour, 45 minutes, I'm going, uh-oh. Because it's like a video game level. We dropped off some of these rocks where I knew there was no getting back up them. So you're committed now to the trail.
Oh, because I was going to
climb down. Because, yeah, at one point I would have just said, look, I don't care how long it takes. We're turning around, going back, and going back down the way we came. But we had to climb down these rocks. I'm rock climbing. And walking, and it started getting dark. And
you were pebble climbing.
Dude, no, this is like upstate New York, woods everywhere.
But you said a hill. There's mountains upstate.
It was a mountain. I mistook it for a hill.
I'm just trying to jam at you today.
When did you realize there was a problem?
About a real. I realized there was something was amiss. 45 minutes into the hike back, and then within an hour and a half, I knew this could be big trouble because I realized we didn't have anything.
When did she realize? Point.
I tried to keep it like everything's fine, everything's cool. Until I just lost my mind at one point. I'm like, where the are we? Oh, not another hill up. Because, we knew you had to go downhill. Everything is downhill when you've walked up a mountain. It's all down. So we walked down. I'm like, okay, we're on the right track, going down. And then you hit the bottom of the trail, it curves, and now you're going back up. But there's nowhere else to go. I'm like, we shouldn't be going back up again. And like I said, rock climbing, and then it started getting dark, and that's when I knew there's a problem. There is a big problem, because now you could break an ankle. We had to stop, so I saw a sign, and it had a picture of a lean-to on it and an arrow.
So there's no signs in the real woods.
Dude, it was just an archaic sign. I was barely able to see it. I'm glad, lucky we saw it, or we'd be dead.
The cavemen made this sign back in the day?
Yes, okay. And the lean-to.
Why would you be dead? You just would have spent the night in the woods.
Yeah.
No,
you never spent the night in the woods?
We were out of the weather in the lean-to. It was raining. It was cold, upstate rain.
You see what the homeless people do in the city? You can survive one night out in the wilderness.
You see, they got food on them. They got newspapers to shove in their clothes. Weren't wearing warm clothes. It was hot during the day. And then at night, it got cold and rainy. It got cold and rainy. And we had no water. So as we're walking, we had to drink the water that was dripping off the trees.
Why not? You didn't have to drink water.
Are you kidding? I was parched.
You could go 24 hours without drinking water?
And then, no. And then after walking all that way in the cold rain,
yeah,
and then sleeping in the cold in the lean-to, I woke up and my legs and ankles refused to work. Because they just tightened up. from all the walking in the cold rain and then just stopping and sleeping. Just sleep. There was no sleep. I was gazing off into the haze of the rain in the woods, just waiting for a monster to come out.
Were you scared?
Oh, was I scared? I am a baby. I was petrified at monsters in the woods. It was frightening. I couldn't sleep. We had one light jacket that was like over one of my shoulders and one of her shoulders, and I'm peering out like over the jacket, looking into the mist of the woods, just waiting to see. I didn't know what was out there. Monsters.
What's the lean-to?
It's like a
Is it like a bathroom and a bed and a...
no. The lean-to is...
what kind of monster you think was going to come out?
A bear. I thought a bear was going to come out.
So at least it's like a real monster. You weren't...
No, they were real monsters.
You weren't thinking werewolves or...
No, I thought werewolf. I thought crazed murderer. I thought they could be crazed murderer.
Why, he couldn't see either.
But for some reason they can.
Why would a crazed murderer be out in the woods?
I know. Wouldn't he be killing someplace where there's people?
I don't know, but they always find like stupid people that are in the lean-to. Maybe the guy was staking out the lean-to.
That's in the movies.
Don't matter. Sometimes yeah, he could have built the lean-to for dummies.
Yeah.
That got lost, and then he hacks them up.
It's a portable lean-to sign and lean-to. He probably just brings them around and murders people.
Like Wile E. Coyote. He unfolds it.
Puts it back in his pickup truck and goes to the next location.
Yes. It could have happened. I was looking, waiting, and every time you hear like a in the woods,
that's Bigfoot.
No, it was crazed killer or bear or some type of monster.
Oh,
I didn't think Bigfoot. Bigfoot's too
or just
hack.
A forest ranger walking around making sure everyone put their fires out.
No, we were way far away from a ranger station.
Yeah, I guess you were.
It was very frightening.
Yeah.
And after that, I went home and ordered my satellite phone.
Oh, you did?
Yes, so if I'm ever in a situation again where I'm going to be going somewhere that is out of cell phone range, I always take my satellite phone.
They can get it anywhere?
Anywhere! I was in the middle of the ocean on a cruise ship.
How's the reception?
Very good. Yeah.
Spectro from Michigan writes, a lean-to is where crybabies sleep. All right, listen, we can continue with this after the break. We're late.
Can we talk more about Bigfoot when we come back?
Absolutely. This is what we're going to do, Jimmy. This is a radio tease for everybody. They think they found Bigfoot or evidence of Bigfoot, and we'll tell you what the evidence is after the break. How's that?
All right.
And more of Anthony getting lost in...
Lost. It was very frightening.
In a Boy Scout campground.
Scary.
It's Opie and Anthony. Anthony, busy morning. We got MySpace in here filming Jim Norton, who's playing Caroline's tonight, a free show at 7 o'clock. You just got to bring what, your MySpace profile or something like that?
Yeah, and you get the shows for free, and you get a free DVD from HBO, my Monster Rain HBO special we're giving away.
And then Jimmy hits the road and does Comics Come Home this weekend for everybody in Boston.
Yeah.
Got a lot of people listening on BCN right now that are going to see you, Jimmy.
And tomorrow morning, my Borgata tickets go on sale on theborgata.com, so if you want to come see me in January and not humiliate me, please do.
You're a busy boy.
Do.
All right, so Anthony's lost in the woods. We got
Sasquatch.
We got evidence that Bigfoot might be living. According to the History Channel, they may have discovered the missing link.
That's a lie.
And its new show, Monster Quest. What's Monster Quest about?
That's when you and a friend go on a quest together, and you take each other and give each other pleasure.
Under a porch?
Well,
Monster Quest.
Just as long as it's a quest.
Linger longer.
You're questing for something that looks like a thumb.
That's right. Kind of like, picture a thumb with like a freshen up gum type of feeling.
Know what's dumb about this Monster Quest show? The name sounds great, Monster Quest. Then you think, okay, they're going to do they're going to do their Bigfoot show, and then they're going to do the Loch Ness
Monster,
and then
the Yeti.
Okay, Yeti.
That's even fallen off.
But that's kind of Bigfoot.
Yeah, that's just snowy Bigfoot.
Snowy Bigfoot, and then
then they start getting into the crazy thing, like the Phoenix giant tortoise,
the Jersey Devil.
Yeah, one of those.
And then they're gonna run out of ideas quickly. Well, anyway, you had a group. They went into the woods to see if Bigfoot was living in Ontario, Canada. Oh, by the way, hold on, man. I got to give Greg from Ohio some knowledge. Go ahead, Greg.
Hey, what's going on, bud?
Hey, man.
Hey, since when did the rainforest end up in the Pacific Northwest?
Do you honestly think there's only one rainforest in the world?
Where is the rainforest?
Well, tropical climates, maybe.
You might want to Google the Hoh rainforest.
When was the last time it snowed in the rainforest?
Look up the Hoh rainforest outside of Seattle, Washington, my friend.
Smarty pants.
I hiked around in the Hoh rainforest.
Hoh?
There you go. H-O.
That's what I get for going to school in Ohio.
All right. It's in Olympic National Park. It is truly a rainforest.
That's the rainforest
Northwest.
with the nappy canopy.
Yes.
You guys rock, man. Punching out.
All right. Good afternoon to Cleveland, by the way. Hey.
I'm sorry I said that. I apologize for saying.
It's just very mossy. And then you realize that your life doesn't mean crap in the end. It's one of those forests you walk around, you see trees that are growing out of other trees that fell down. So the tree fell down a mere 400 years ago, and now there's another tree that's growing in the middle of this tree that's at least 200 to 300 years old.
Oof.
And you walk around going, oh, my God, my life doesn't mean nothing. It's going to be over in a blink of an eye.
You're a mayfly compared to those things.
That's why I hate walking around nature. Went to the Grand Canyon. Boy, this must have taken a lot of years to make.
It's too big. It's too big.
I know
this
I'm doing
is too much for my mind to wrap around.
Yeah, I know I'm doing a Brian Regan, but your mind starts going, oh, no.
Yeah, it's...
No one's ever going to remember me.
That little river down there.
Right.
You look at it, it's like, oh, that made all this?
Yeah.
That probably took some time.
Yeah, then you walk around a museum or something, they have like a big freaking cutout of a tree, and then they start showing you the historical...
Oh, the rings? Yeah.
The historical events.
Jesus born.
Right.
It's like, oh, really? And it's not even near the middle of the tree.
Oh, Jesus born is like close to the bark on the edge of the thing.
Yeah.
This is when the sun exploded. Oh, my God. You got to go way back to the beginning of the life of a tree. I can't handle that stuff.
That is creepy.
Anyway, so they went to try to see if this Bigfoot was in Ontario. And it had a bunch of scientists, and they were videotaping, and they had an audio crew at a cabin in the utterly remote Snellgrove Lake, wherever that is, pulling DNA samples from the trap and exploring the forest. So they had bear traps all over the place, right? The show has caused a stir among enthusiasts because it has gotten so close to proving the Sasquatch monster may in fact exist. The show made contact, they're saying, with the thing on its last night of filming. A stone was thrown at about 2 a.m.
Yeah.
So I guess a stone was thrown at the cabin they were staying at. The stone hit like a bullet. It was thrown with amazing accuracy. So the crew threw a stone back into the woods. And in a matter of minutes, a second stone was launched at them.
By a crew member who realized this whole thing was a bust and they had to have something.
Yes. Exactly.
That was a boom mic operator. They're like, where's Fred? He must be in the bathroom, but the monster's throwing rocks.
Throwing rocks. And then the rocks stop and Fred shows back up. What'd I miss?
Yeah, exactly, with a pocket full of rocks. How great would it be if they captured the Sasquatch and then just put a chain around his neck and throw him in the river and drown him? with no scientific exploration, just no evidence taken, no nothing. They just drown it. They drown it and just punch it and kick it for being so elusive. And they bury it in a shallow grave.
Jimmy,
How long you've kept us.
You wrecked it for me.
Why? You think that was what it was?
Even though I'm a bit older now, I still want to believe in Bigfoot just like I did when I was a 12-year-old kid watching these shows with Leroy, what's his name?
Leroy, oh my God, Leonard Nimoy.
Leonard Nimoy, yeah.
Leonard Nimoy.
In Search of.
In Search of, right.
If it was Leroy, Mr. Spock would have been told differently.
Right. Wow. I hope MySpace got that. That was terrific.
Jeez.
They don't have their camera up there. Sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
Oh, well. This guy was scared. I felt the adrenaline. when we threw that rock into the woods and then it got sent back, my heart raced. Then they say blood tissue and hair discovered later on a bear trap outside the cabin was tested. The hair did not match any known North American bear or animal, and tests showed an uncanny similarity to human DNA, with one exception. The irregular DNA matched that of a primate.
Wow. That's frightening.
And they also found the big thing, though, which they don't write here because they didn't have enough space, was that they were, somebody wrote the Yeti is a douche on the cabin, and they think it was him because there's a rivalry. But he spelled douche wrong, as a lot of times primates will do. They spell it with 9 O's.
A little carried away.
Yeah, they love that sound, douche.
Larry, Maryland, what's up?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
On Google Earth, if you go around, you see like little dots everywhere, like little yellow dots or little colored dots, and if you click on them, it gives you information. And I was clicking on some local where I live, and they take you to a site where all these people have reported different Sasquatch or Bigfoot sightings, and they give you their like real stories about what they found and everything. If you get bored.
He tells the story, and then it's like, if you get bored.
Yeah, it's something to do when you're sitting around at work.
Well, the only problem is when these guys come out, like, Opie's talking about the stuff Leonard Nimoy used to do, like, that guy admitted that so many of them admit hoaxes now, like, on their deathbeds, like the guy, the surgeon's photo was the famous Loch Ness Monster photo.
Yeah.
And he admitted it was a hoax. It was a such simple little stupid thing.
Stupid deathbed confessions. Guy should have died in a fire.
Yeah, so we can enjoy it. So we can enjoy it during our lifetime.
And didn't Bigfoot, the guy say that was a hoax too? Like he was wearing a Bigfoot outfit.
I don't know what happened with the Bigfoot.
Robert Johnson's name.
Yeah, somebody came out and said that was a hoax.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
The guy that got thrown off his horse but kept the camera going.
And they show the rest of the footage, like after the monster runs away, when he comes back in and then he gets in his car and drives away in the Bigfoot outfit. And there are still people who believe.
Well, because he had a birthday party to go to.
Yes.
There's the footage. Look at that stupid Bigfoot.
Let's say.
Remember the analysis that went down? Like they said, if you look at the stride, you'll notice it's a longer gait than that of a human. Like those old shows used to try to really sway your opinion of the whole thing. And Search Up was the worst. Leonard Nimoy. Extraterrestrials, UFOs, psychic phenomena.
His voice used to scare the crap out of me, though.
Yeah.
As a kid.
Funny intro to that show.
Yeah, it's really good.
Sure, it's there, yeah.
It'll bring back memories for some people.
Scare you.
Yes, Jimmy?
No,
Josh in Philly, what's up?
Yeah, what's going on, guys?
Hit her, Jesh.
Hey, wanted to ask Ann, when you were lost in the woods, how could you be afraid? I mean, didn't you have your rapier with you?
I had not a weapon. I didn't have my rapier. And then I tried to pick up a stick, big stick, when I saw the bear, so I could poke the bear's face if he tried to eat me. And I picked up a stick, and it broke as I picked it up.
Oh, really?
It was one of those like the rotting limbs.
Yeah, because
that was just there. It's been raining, and
it's been rotting in the woods for over 100 years.
Yeah,
and you finally picked it up, and it fell apart in front of your eyes.
It fell apart. I had nothing. I'm just staring at a bear, just going, if this thing turns around and sees me and attacks me, there's nothing I could do about it. Nothing.
Hey, also, I'd say forgiveness for dog when he falls in a bucket of AIDS. Linger longer.
I love my linger longers out there.
Experience I ever had was being lost in the woods. I was 8 years old. We were the Girl Scouts. They're going to take us camping, and then you circle, and we're leaving like little marks on rocks, and then you hit the same rock.
Where'd you go, Carol? Heckscher Park out there on Long Island? To get lost in Heckscher Park?
Blue Bay, out on Long Island. You're right.
Of course. I know where she gets lost.
Wait, where'd she get lost?
Blue Bay.
Blue Bay. But we're 8 years old.
Oh, okay, you're a kid.
You'd think there'd be some supervision. But no, it is scary because you turn around and everything looks the same. You don't know where you are. Oh, my God, you've dredged up some memories.
Yeah, you know what? There's not much that scares me in my life. There are two things, though. And Anthony brought this up recently on the show. One is I have done some hiking in my day. And when you're like on a hiking trail and you look into the woods and you know that the woods just go on for
they go
miles.
for miles.
And even though it's like a bright sunny day up above, it is already dark at 1 in the afternoon. That creeps me the F out. I can't handle that.
Yeah.
And I want to be one with nature, man.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, if you ever done any, hold on, Carol, if you've ever done any scuba diving or snorkeling, like Anthony brought up, and you look down into the you look to the, let's call it the abyss, whatever. You just look and you realize like that, land is Spain basically.
That's the next stop.
There's nothing but water and monsters between you and Spain, and it gets dark really quickly, and you have no clue what's going to come out of that darkness. That freaks me the F out.
It's frightening.
Even when recently I went on vacation and Turks and Caicos, and I was doing some snorkeling off the beach. No big deal, right? Just having some fun. And even just turning and looking outwards scared the crap out of me, even though I knew I was only, 40, 50 feet from shore.
Yep.
That darkness. Huh?
I would never go snorkeling because you can't breathe down there, okay?
The darkness.
Get a hold of yourself, Carol.
I love Carol.
For the love of God, you're panicking.
We love Carol. We want more women calling this dumb show. Jesse, what's up?
Hey, what's up, boys? I was wondering, Ant, when you were lost in the woods, was one of the monsters you were afraid of a Mexican in the bushes? Linger longer!
Guys, Mark in Boston, what's up?